Well, hey, modelers, how you doing there? Uh, this is Alan RDAN scale. I hope you guys are having a good evening. It's 8:17 here at RDAN scale, and we're gonna start this video off with Houston. We kind of have a slight, or could be slight problem. No, it's not one of those you can't get back to Earth. No, it's not the L poopers are out. It's just it's a oh one of those deals where uh, the hairs were bent this way. The hairs were bent this way, and they should have been that way. And I guess you could say also lesson learned, lesson earned. uh, uh, First off, I had was going to start this out a few days ago, showing my 3609, my Atlas GP39-2, pulling my deep rock tankers. I'd pulled them a few days ago, and it's a Saturday, and I think it was Tuesday. I went over to a little hobby shop over Wichita, and I picked up this BNSF patch car, and I've got another one that I'm going to get that I've got set back for me. And it's, something that I had been wanting. I knew they had. I'd gotten a BNSF patched beer car, and I don't know what or why was inside of that car, but I purchased it at Spring Creek, and it looked like there was something that I don't know, looked like moisture or something was creeping out of the underneath of it, and I'm not exaggerating this a bit. I don't know if the car, when the guys, which would be anywhere from Mike or Jeff, or their folks, when they go to train shows, all or most of their stock, or a big share of their stock, when the train shows were going, real big, they was going to a train show every week. And if you'd go up there to the store, I mean, maybe you would find something up there, maybe you wouldn't. They started out going to train shows. And then they got a store, and then they got the store that they have now, but they still go to train shows because, from what I take, that's their bread and butter. Going to the train shows, meeting the people, taking the people they're, ones that's got stuff on layaway, and, meeting the manufacturers and stuff like that. That's, their thing. That's how they started out, and that's kind of their thing. But I don't know, somewhere along the line, the car that I'd got, I don't know if it maybe got moisture inside the car, because the car was, in their trailer, because they put their stuff all in their trailers, they've got these racks and stuff like that they put locomotives. I mean, everything. Locomotives, digital. I mean, the systems that run the the layouts and stuff like that. All that stuff is in those trailers. 2 years ago, I bought a set of Microtrains cars, and when I got it, and this train show was here where I live in Hutch, when I got the product home, and I got this on a Saturday because I could go back the next day, and I didn't go back just because I wanted to go back. I went back because what was wrong with the set. I bought a set of grain hoppers, the short grain hoppers, at the train show, and they were warped. Why was they warped? Because of heat. Going from extreme temperatures in the back of those trailers, they're anywhere from over to 115, 120 degrees, 130 degrees in those trailers or whatever, because they're not air conditioned. They're not gonna air condition those trailers or whatever and that. I mean, their vehicles may or may not be air conditioned when they're going down the road, and their trailers that they haul their stuff in certainly are not going to be that either. But when I got that car, it had something inside of it, so I returned it. And I thought, gosh, one of these days, if I ever find another one, I'd like to get another one. So I got I seen this one here. It was a 787-96. And I picked it up, and then I'm going to get me one more. And so we were going to show this on the layout on my inner route. Running my 3609, pulling my deep rock cars and pulling these here behind there. And I'd clean the track off like I always do. That's just my deal, because I've got lint and stuff like that. I got smokers that living around here, so we got to deal with smokers. We got to deal with people that smoke, and they know they shouldn't. There's rules against it, just like pets. You can't have pets living here, but they do it anyway. At least I don't think they got any cats or dogs, because I don't hear the dogs bark. But this one person that lives in the same side we do, she's got a bird. I don't know how long that's going to last, but I imagine if the soup or the landlord knows about it, she'll probably be gone, because the soup that we've got now is just as bad as about having pets as what the first one. And the first one didn't want to have an aquarium. I wanted to get a little aquarium, and he didn't really want that, so I never did get one. And I have had them before in the past. But we, again, was going to run these cars behind my deep rock cars. And I'd clean the track off, and had it cleaned off. Had the lint off of it and that, and went and plugged it in. It looked fine when I plugged it in. When I plugged in the SB5, light came on, done whatever, and I went out of the room just for a few seconds. Came back. I had to tell my mom something. I seen the light flickering off and on the SB5. And I said, "Oh crap, got a short." Like I say, I was probably out of the room 5 minutes. So I went, unplugged it. Not in a crazy way. I just got underneath the board, unplugged it, and I checked the engine, 3609, which I've got two. You look here. I've got two shells, two Atlas. The one that I had gotten about 2.5 years ago, I got this one and a Kodachrome that was DC, and I got this one that was DCC. This one right here that this was a DC frame here, and the DCC was this, and it had a engine smell or motor smell, like from the brushes, and I can't stand that smell. It bothers me. It just like smelling when you're running a drill or something like that, and if the drill is not brushless, it really puts off a real stagnant smell. And like I say, some smells I just can't stand. It just, it burns my eyes. It makes, just makes me, makes me not feel well. And so I can't stand it. And so I had learned, or I had talked to the guys at Atlas. They said that you could, with Conducta Lube the commentators and that. They said you can do that. And so tankers. On that side, or that in there, is where the commentators and that should be residing at, where those two wire strips that are going up and down is where the commentator should be. And so I dropped a little oil in there thinking, yeah, you can do that. Well, I don't know if I put too much in there or not. You're trying to put, and I assume I put a drop in there. It may have been a little more. But the motor ran fine. The smell went away. But then it started acting like it had some issues. Of course, and like I said, the smell, it was putting off a smell, and I just couldn't stand it. So, I just said, okay, this is acting funny. We're going to do this. On these Atlas engines, if they are DCC ready, all you have to do, and it's kind of a good thing. Actually, this is better than how even Kato sets theirs up. You've got those four little contacts there that contact the board. You've got this plastic separator that keeps you from shorting out anything. You basically pull the decoder, lift it up, lift the light board, and I put the decoder in this one here, in this frame here, which was a DC, DC locomotive, like I say, it just had the light board in it. And give me a minute and I'll show you. There's the light board that came out of that one right there. Speaker was already in it. Didn't have to do nothing. Don't have to drill it out. Don't have to, nothing. All you do, pull the light board, pop the light board, pop the DCC board in. No programming, just plug it in, start it up, and that was it. But why some of these Atlas motors have that smell, I don't know. I never did at all see that in my Cottos. I didn't have one Cotto. I mean, I might have a Cotto that might be, that might jiggle or whatever that, or make a, kind of funny move when it goes down the track, but I've never had one stink, from the brushes. And when I first got those two DC locomotives, those Atlas DC locomotives, they had a hell of a smell to them. One of them it went away, and the other one, sooner or later went away. And like I say, right now, where I've got the decoder in this one here, it seems to be doing okay. It don't seem like it's having no problem. The decoder, when I was on the inner route with the SB5, this turnout here, and I'm not going to do it because the system is hooked up, but that turnout was switched to the passing siding or the yard siding. It was switched, and this one here on this end, on the side, on the north end of the layout, was like that. Right now they're the way they're supposed to be. If I go and I switch like that, it's okay. If I switch like that, it's okay. If this happens to be open, like it is to the main, and that one there is to the passing siding, then that's where my little short occurs. So I'm probably going to someday, Houston, we had a fart. Here pretty soon, I probably will put those joiners in there. I know Uncle Mike Pfeiffer, he always recommends putting non-powered rail joiners like those onto the turnouts when they're on the diverging side. I guess you call that the diverging side. You put them there, and you let it be powered on this end. Power comes into the turnout, and then you put the non-powered rail joiners there. Same thing on this end. And Uncle Mike, if you're watching this, you're probably going to say, yep. You know what I tell you, or what did I say in my videos? That's where they're supposed to be. I've only got two. I've only got two power unit joiners on that inner route. One is located here. And one is located down here, about right there. That's where my two power rail joiners, the Unitrack rail power joiners is right there, and then on the north end where I just showed you. That's the only two I got on this track. And the reason I only had two of them is because I was running DC. Now, underneath the layout, I'm running a bus line. I've had the bus line in place for about a year and a half or two. I decided to run the bus line and, put in my blocks. I've got a block here. I've got a block over there. I've got a block over there by where the on the inner rail there, about right there where the front end of the excursion set is. And then I've got a block right down here. And on the bus line, the bus line goes from block over to that block, from this block over here to this block over here, over to this block here. It's in a loop. I don't know if that is a wrong thing to do. It always seemed to be okay when I ran it in the when I ran it with the DC, but the running at DCC, I might maybe not want to have that there. Like I say, it is from block to block, over to block, and then over to block, just like in an oval. So if you guys that has more DCC experience than I do say that that's a no-no, tell me. Get in there in the reviews and say what you need to say. Tell me if that needs to be there. Tell me if that needs to be whatever. Some of my wire, even though this isn't a big layout, some of my wire, I did loop it around each other, twist it a little bit. I did do that. It's wired up correctly. If you look at the SB5, it is not blinking. If you look at the power supply back there, it's not flashing either. When the short occurred, yes, the yellow light was flashing, but I got it unplugged quick enough, and I have since reset the booster. I've also reset the Powercab. I did notice that when I went to plug in the SB5 before I had the little short circuit problem, the light would come on, flash just for a second, or blink for a second, and then stay on. Stayed on. Per NCE instructions, I unplugged the track power and plugged in the SB5, and everything lit up like it was supposed to. No blinking or anything like that. I unplugged the SB5, and the power supply did what it was supposed to, as you can see down there. So I think everything is okay. I think I got to it before any possible maybe thing was done. Like I say, the track power status is not flashing right now. If I flip the switch like that, it is fine. If I flip this switch, it is fine. No flashing. You didn't even see a blink. There, the switch is I switched the turnouts again there to there. Of course, I'm not going to jar the one down there like that one was. that was, like I say, lesson learned, a lesson earned. I don't think there was any damage done to the decoder either. It kind of was running a little funny. I mean, the engine was kind of running a little funny, a little jerky or whatever, and that, just a little bit. But like I say, that before this happened with the short circuit, the engine, and sometimes my engines do that, and it could be because I don't have enough power rail joiners on here. That could be. It had the smell, and it was kind of, sometimes it would, have a little jerkiness in it or whatever and that. But there was no smoke coming off of the decoder or anything else that I could see. Maybe got a little warm, but it didn't get, scalding hot or anything like that. Right now, with my hand on top of the SB5, it's slightly warm, not scalding hot, just slightly warm to the touch, just slightly warm. There is no warping or anything that I can feel on the back of the box, anything like that. There's no, I looked to see if there was any discoloration, and I can flip the light on. Maybe I can flip the light on. I can flip the light on, and you guys can see the box. Try to show you guys the box. It don't look like there's any discolorations that I can see in there. On the sides, on the back. I know when Mr. Derek Glass, when he had got his SB5, and I'm sorry, what happened to Derek's, what happened to his setup and his deal, and he got a circuit breaker, and I'm learning my lesson too, but when on Derek's, the back of his SB5 got really hot, and you could see like a discoloration, or you could see some warping back there. Mine didn't do that. I checked it to make sure that everything was where it was supposed to be, so I think I got everything done before, anything critical happened. So hopefully good for that. And Derek, if you're watching, I want you to chime in too. Give it to me, brother. Let me have it. Let me know your thoughts. I know right now you're going to say, what you need to do. So, but please chime in. I'd rather have you guys to chime in and tell me or whatever and that, and let me know, smoke the sausage and let me know about it. Don't just click on the deal on the like or the dislike or whatever and that, put your words of inspiration in here, because that's how we learn, and that's how we get our is by you guys out there, and I comment on stuff. That's where we get our help from, and our learning from is from your guys' comments. I mean, don't throw me under the bus. I mean, I guess if I need an ass kicking, or a dog washing or whatever, that, I mean, I guess give that to me. But I'd rather have your comments or whatever that, and just say, okay, this is what you need to do, kid. That's what you gotta fix. But just tell me, just leave me a comment and tell me, please. But anyway, that's probably what we're gonna do. Is we're going to, and I guess it's just a thing of disassembling and adding something in to make something better. I've got to get the circuit breakers first I'm waiting for them to come in. They're at Spring Creek. They sell NCE stuff at Spring Creek, but they are not I'm not going to say that they're not an authorized dealer, but they sell Digitrax. And I'm not downing Digitrax or putting Digitrax under the board, but to me, they're not the only damn ones out there. For people that like NCE, and I know there's a lot of you guys out there that run NCE. Arthur Houston, you're one of them. Derek, you're one of them. NCE is not, not bad. I mean, they make good stuff and they make stuff in the USA. My little problem with Digitrax was with the decoder. I had a decoder that should have fit into one of my engines. It should have been a plug and play drop-in decoder. I mean, and it didn't drop in. I couldn't even get it to go in. And I called Digitrax and asked the goofball there what to do, and he told me to start sanding on the sides of the decoder. And I thought, where the hell are you coming from, Mars? This is supposed to be a drop-in decoder. Had the exact number that, and the one that was supposed to go in for it was an ES44 AC, and I just, and he said, well, if you sand on it a little bit, it'll fit right in there, just keep sanding on it. And I said, well, what if I hit one of the vital components on that deal? Oh, well, you probably okay. You probably ain't gonna hit nothing or whatever. You just keep on filing it, and probably that thing will go in there. Well, it wouldn't go in there, and I ended up just saying to hell with it. I figured I filed on it enough, and I didn't really want to breathe that stuff in that I was filing anyway. And so I ordered a TCS decoder, and that decoder fit right in there. I had the Kapton tape already in place. I'd put the Digitrax decoder back in its bag and put the TCS, got it out, slipped it right in. Didn't have to do nothing to the frame, didn't have to do nothing to the, nothing, just set right in there. And I asked them guys at TCS, and they said, well, that's why we make them to fit, into our, as it says on there that they're supposed to fit. That's what they're supposed to do. And I said, well, why would a guy at Digitrax, tell me that? And he goes, we've heard a lot of our issues with them guys or whatever. And like I say, I'm not doing this as a throw Digitrax under the bus, because I've seen their systems, their control systems. I've seen their command stations and that, and they do, have some good command stations and stuff like that. It was just this decoder that, that I had the problem with. And, when you have to unscrew or open your frame on your engine to get something that's supposed to drop in, and you've still got to sand on it to make it fit, which it didn't fit, and I mean, I looked that decoder front and back and checked the numbers 2 or 3 times, to make sure that I hadn't got the wrong decoder. It was the right decoder. And I was upset with that. But moving on from that, I bought 4 or 5 TCS decoders. I had no problem with them. And then I started getting my sound ones, and I just decided that I was going to get the ones that were already installed by the factory, like here at Atlas and stuff like that, and that's what I went with. But this decoder that I slipped out of that frame and put into that one was the easiest. I mean, the easiest to pop out of there. And like I say, if you can see those contacts up there, there's the contacts where they contact the decoder, and I mean, they look like they contact the decoder really well. I mean, it was just gently push it out and gently push it in, and that was it. And now I've got a sound decoder in this here. And to me, everything sounds okay. So, guys, this went a little longer than what I wanted. I tried to keep it under 40, and I'm going to try to keep this under 40 here. Colt 44, I guess. And we will let you see Miss... there she is. Miss Beautiful. Let y'all have a little bit of that. Guarantee you what, she does have a figure. And they make that sign bigger too. That's the small one for the HO and N scale, and then they make a bigger size. So she looking good up there on that York peppermint patty. So I don't know, maybe I ought to call her Patty, or Ginger on the patty. Ginger on the patty. Hey, there's Ginger on the patty. But anyway, trying to let some light humor go along here, and but I guess in all seriousness, hopefully I didn't do anything to the SB5. Like I say, shows a green light on the power supply. The red light has not been flashing at all on the box itself, on the SB5 itself. So I assume everything is okay on it. You can see it there, and it's not smelling. It's not. I don't see anything, that would indicate that there's, other than, when it was, doing, it's, clicking in that. Like I say, I think I got it off in time, and she's not hot. She don't look like she's got any problems here. That's why I wanted to show an up close here of it. The